Moving into our favorite thing, and it's Major League Baseball. Even though we are rolling into winter, it is still the fall, but the winter meetings have kicked off, and man, oh man.
In big fashion.
It's already popping. Steven Strasburg, World Series MVP, is staying put, and he's going to continue dealing for the Nats.
And for big money, $245 million for 7 years. Now they're saying that Garrett Cole is imminent on signing right now, and his is supposed to be above 300. But what I'm saying is that Steven Strasburg has just went out there and won the championship.
Yeah.
Who do you think is more valuable at this point? I know that Garrett Cole looked more dominant in certain situations, but Steven Strasburg actually got the dub.
He got the dub. He went out there and shut down. You can argue a more
one of the best offensive
team,
yeah.
And he shut them down. Like
yes.
He went 8 twice, right?
Yeah,
he gave up
like
2
that.
over 8,
and not against the Dodgers as well.
8.
You know,
he dominated.
Yeah, he dominated,
and that wasn't just the playoffs.
No,
Steven Strasburg dealt all year.
Yeah. And so now you're talking about a contract of $245 million, almost $250 million. So
it's so much money.
Yeah. So in that, do you think that he's worth more than Garrett Cole? Garrett Cole is supposed to. The Yankees have put so much money on the table. I think they're bidding against themselves right now.
Yeah, they are. And Boris is happy to have it.
Oh man, are you kidding?
This is right up his alley.
Are you kidding? I personally don't feel like either one of them are worth it because
that's a lot of money to have tied up in one guy.
Yeah, literally. You have he's your whole organization that works every 5 days.
It's craziness.
It's craziness. And then you want to talk about maybe being overvalued is Zach Wheeler.
How about Zach Wheeler's dough?
$1.25? Are you crazy?
What has Zach Wheeler shown me that he deserves that?
Exactly. And the Phillies,
I've never seen Zach Wheeler deal to that extreme.
The Phillies signed him up.
Lace him up, T. but the Phillies said they had stupid money to spend.
Yeah, but you're spending stupid money stupidly.
Man, I guess it's a par for the course.
That's a lot of money to put on a Zach Wheeler, who's going to be a number 3 or 4. He's not the number 1. He's not a number 1. If he's going to be, they had predicted that he was going to be like a number 1 pitcher, but he's turning out to be a 3 or 4. And in that, you should get. Well, it's not up to me to say what kind of 3 or 4 money that you get, but that seems like overvalue of a 3 or 4 starting pitcher. Especially with the way that the teams are built now, because guys don't go deep into games.
Right.
So if you give a guy $1.25, then what are you asking of him?
$1.25 for 5 and dive. You're giving him $1.25 for maybe 170 innings.
I can give you a discount.
For 5?
$5.
Look at this. The Angels got Dylan Bundy, and I expect a bounce back season for him. I think that the sleeper on this thing is Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, I do too.
People forget that he was the most dominant. He was a very decent regular season pitcher. You say he's a good regular season pitcher, but he is the greatest postseason pitcher.
Yeah.
He is lights out if you can get him there.
And if I was the Yankees, that's who I would really be banking on, especially a lefty like that. I mean, CC is retiring.
That's why they're going for Cole.
Yeah, but he's a guy that literally has not.
You're going to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah,
and you need a playoff guy.
You need a playoff. You need a horse, and Garrett Cole is a horse.
Yeah,
but you're talking about putting your rotation in the hands of Madison Bumgarner, Garrett Cole, and maybe not Daisuke, but your boy
Tanaka.
Yeah, Tanaka.
And you got Lou Severino, and don't sleep. You got Herman. You got Severino.
Yeah, so there you go. You got to start from. They would have to be number 1 in the league, right?
I would agree,
prediction wise.
But also, when you're tying up dough like that, on a lot of these teams, like the Yankees, don't seem to care. But now they're talking about letting Didi walk.
I mean, but they have a plethora of.
They got a lot of options.
Now.
They sure do.
Especially with DJ LeMahieu playing super utility now. You got a lot of room to play. You can move Torres if you want to back to shortstop, which is a natural position, and you got a lot of room to play on that team. But I really feel like since the Yankees seem to be injury prone the past few years, you would want to stick with Didi.
Yeah. I mean, how can you be mad at Didi? Didi, super clutch.
Yeah, Didi can be a DH or super utility, but they seem like they're infatuated with keeping Gardner around more so than anything.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get big money, but they do want to keep him.
Yeah.
He's a last tie to the past. And how about that deal San Diego pulled off?
Nice deal.
What's up, fam?
got Tommy fam, but they gave away your piece. You hate to see your boy walk.
I don't like to see Hunter Renfroe go because I believe that. I mean, they've made moves. They picked up Drew Pomeranz. They picked up Kyle Davies, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Kyle Davies.
Zach Davies.
Zach Davies.
Sorry. Who's Kyle Davies?
Back in the day.
Zach Davies. Drew Pomeranz, so they shore up that this kid Chris Paddock has ace written all over him. If you don't know who he is, he just needs.
You will find out very, very soon.
But in picking up Tommy Pham, they pick up a guy that's a great ball player. You could argue he's a 5-tooler, but you get rid of today's muscle.
Right.
Today's slugger you had in Hunter Renfroe.
Right.
He's a guy, he's really young, that would eventually give you 40 bombs a year for a good 5 or 6 years. He's kind of like a Mark Trumbo type.
Right. If you can sandwich him in between Manny Machado
and Eric Hosmer. Just sandwich him into guys who can protect him, who can hit, because he's going to strike out a bunch.
I would go Hosmer, Machado, and Hunter, or put him in between that some kind of form or fashion, so that pitchers let up on him a little bit, or either you have to give in to pitchers.
About it now.
Yeah, now he's going to be in Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay's been looking for Thump.
They need Thump.
Yeah,
they need Thump because they got crazy arms.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's
arms race.
It is an arms race. It's going down, child. We don't know where Rendon's going. They're talking about Lindor coming to L.A. It's just mind blowing to me that the Dodgers talk about Corey Seager like he's a never was.
Yeah,
just unbelievable.
Josh Donaldson.
Josh Donaldson's going.
Cole Hamel went to the Braves.
Oh yeah, this is Amel got a deal with the Braves. What else? There's been a lot of moves going on,
and there's more to come.
And the best is yet to come. Come the day of mine. Yeah, and once again, if you go on the front page, Major League Baseball is talking about diversity and inclusion at the top. I'll believe it when I see it, folks. Baseball has a long ways to go.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for the last 10, 15 years, huh?
Long ways to go, child. And but shout out to the homie, because Adam Jones is in talks to play in Japan. He's looking at signing a monster deal.
Really?
In Japan. Yeah.
That's good for him.
That is good for him. I like to see people play as long as they can. And if remember last year, nobody wanted to give him a job.
Yeah, and they disrespected him. I think his numbers were decent. They weren't great. But if you're giving Zach Wheeler $1.25,
come on, man. You counted Adam Jones. You dude. You counted Adam Jones, if nothing else, just for defense.
Right.
He can still go get it.
Apparently not. They don't feel like it. They're so stuck on Garrett Cole. I love Garrett Cole's work, but man, he pitches every 5 days.
I need a guy that plays every day.
If I'm going to put down that kind of cheese, you're going to put down almost $500 million on this dude, and you're talking about every 5 days. I mean, once we hear the final numbers, we'll be able to break down what he's making per game, but I can tell you it's going to be sick with it.
It's going to be through the roof. And anybody that's hesitating to give Madison Bumgarner his $100 million, because he's looking for $100 million over 5 years. Why would you not give him? If Zach Wheeler is worth, potential wise, after Tommy John and X, Y, and Z, worth $125, a 3-time world champion, top 10 Cy Young Award.
Is he 30 years old?
He may be, like, let's see how old he is. I know he's not. If he is, he's just barely over it.
Because at this point, he's in better condition than Clayton Kershaw.
Yo, no question. Because his stuff is still, his stuff is still the same. Why won't they tell us his age? Yeah, he's 30 years old.
Yeah.
No. He's thrown nearly 2,000 innings at the major league level.
And a lot of times what the ERA doesn't reflect is the team that you're playing on.
Because he's been playing on garbage teams since he won the World Series.
Exactly. And playing in the pitcher's stadium, but on garbage teams. And
they had one chance that year that the Cubs won in 2016,
yeah.
Matter of fact. And they could have beat the Cubs. He dealt, as a matter of fact.
Of course.
And Johnny Cueto dealt, too.
Of course.
And then the team let him down. Your boy let him down bad.
Who?
Who's the pitcher on their squad that let him down? Oh, my goodness. I want to say Matt Moore pitched well that time. There was a couple people who were brain dead on the team. And we talked about it a lot. I can't remember it right now. It'll come back to me. There was some bad work that took place.
Drew Pomeranz.
Somebody was laughing out there when they were making errors in the outfield. They got rid of him, too.
Yeah.
I remember who that was, but he was like laughing. He's like trying to laugh it off. There was sloppy baseball was why they lost that series, because they took them the distance. They took them 4 and they could have took them 5, but they blew a game late, and that's when Hunter Strickland and all those guys. That's when they realized they had a terrible bullpen.
Right, it's just not acceptable
because it was going to be Game 5 in Wrigley Field with Johnny Cueto on the bump.
That was 2 years ago.
That was 2016.
Okay,
because 2015 they won it all. 16 the Cubs won it all.
Because Matt Moore wasn't on the team then.
He wasn't there yet?
No, he just went there last year.
Oh, okay. Who was that? There was somebody who was playing games. It really bothers me. All right, John. You got anything else for the people?
We'll give them some later on.
Yeah, we'll give you more. We're going to try to give you more content more frequently. Chop it up short. Started off slow.
Speed it up.
And then speed it up. All right, folks, I want to leave you with a quote about a UNITY. You gotta let them know UNITY. You know, here's a fantastic quote for you. And it is: no doubt, unity is something to be desired, to be striven for, but it cannot be willed by mere declarations. Folks, you need actions in this world. Get out there, get busy, and be alive. Help each other out because we're all in this thing together. I'm your host, Omar Miller, and this is the Ozone.
Ozone.
I'm just living the dream. I'm in love with the lights. This is